Mr Chair, thank you for the opportunity to speak on this bill, which I do think is very important. And I would like to congratulate Cam for bringing this through, because I know that it's part of a much bigger piece of work that has been done on handheld lasers, and particularly those with high velocity and the dangers of them. I've actually been in a plane where a laser was pointed at a plane. I was flying, not actually flying the plane myself, I was a passenger on a plane going into Invercargill, and they saw a laser and the pilot came on to say that they were disturbed. Now, I did think that only in New Zealand would it be that other passengers on the plane actually identified the street and right down to the house where the laser had come from. So isn't that the beautiful thing about New Zealand, that you actually know... They knew who it was. And so I'm not kidding you. As we were landing, we were literally having the discussion as to where the house was, what the street was, and people were discussing whether they knew them or not. And the pilot had already rung the police to go around there. And so for that kind of quite nice anecdote with it, it was, though, a very serious matter, and the pilot had taken it very seriously. So just having had that, rather small personal experience, I think that we do need to take this position of handheld lasers really importantly. But I have a question for the member and the chair who might like to answer about this bill. Now, the member was saying that there is some thing about how strong the laser is, and I'm thinking, as the member has identified, he is leaving Parliament this year, and we will be very, very sad to see him go. And I was wondering if this would affect lasers being used for motivational speakers on whiteboards. Because it would surprise me.
When we're debating in committee on clauses, we have to relate the clause, and we're on clause 1. I'd like the Minister, Honourable Minister, to actually mention the title. We've been going over 2 minutes. I'd actually like to hear the title mentioned. So the Honourable Paula Bennett.
Sorry about that. I think I was getting the title wrong, and that is because I kept saying possession of handheld lasers, and I acknowledge that you've changed them to possession of high-power laser pointers. And my question is related to the title, and it is most definitely related to the possession of high-power laser pointers. And I note that the member himself said that there was discussion within the committee about how high-powered those laser pointers should be. And my question is, because motivational speakers use the laser pointers a lot, and I'm thinking the member might actually have a career after Parliament, because I find them incredibly motivational, I have got to say, that speaking circuit. Do you think that this will affect the laser pointer that you may use in your motivational speaking as you're going around? So it is most definitely about the title, because I accept that you've changed the title of the bill in Select Committee based on the fact that it should just be for high-powered. And I would just like to know that when the member's on his circuit, which I actually think the member would do a fantastic job at, he strides across the stage, he has his laser in his hand, is pointing to his presentation, that actually this will not negatively affect what he is doing. I also would be interested if the member would address a few other things around the title, and it sounds like it was quite a discussion within committee as to, I don't understand completely what you mean about the strength of the laser and what that means. So is it about distance? So is it about how far the laser light shines, as to whether or not that has an effect on whether it's considered high-powered? And will the police, or who will actually be testing the lasers to see whether or not they come under the title of the high-powered laser pointers or not? And so those were the sorts of questions that I had and would really appreciate some sort of address on. Thank you, Mr Chair.
I'm going to call.
I'll note my question.
I'm going to call Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. Take a call in this debate.